me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto.
Something, Burt Ward. This thing writes itself.
Taylor Swift is one of the most successful music artists in the history of the entire music industry. But while I admire her success from an economic standpoint, her latest album is a body of work that doesn't represent that same type of achievement. To put it more frankly, it is incredibly lackluster and downright average, which puts into question, how is she still able to achieve so much by producing so little? The insane fandom and attention she has received is a whole other ballgame when it comes to understanding the psychology of a group of fans who are insanely obsessed with her. But that's a whole other study in itself, and one that I won't go into here. Suffice to say, the world of Swifties is a world that makes me fearful for humanity. But what I do want to go into is the musical side of things and give you my real-time listening feedback, thoughts, and opinions on this latest album, The Tortured Poets Department, because it doesn't make any sense from a musical point of view or why she is receiving so much hype and praise for music that just doesn't sound any good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Taylor Swift doesn't have any talent, and for what it's worth, if you like her new music, then that's fine by me. And I am also not a Taylor Swift hater, because in my view, her new songs are a far cry from that once youthful country singer who had so much to say with genuine soulful country music that both sounded melodic and invigorating, until she evolved into this money-making machine of a pop princess with music that feels boring and uninspiring and devoid of anything interesting. And this is what I want to look at here. So let's begin with the first track called Fortnight.
I was supposed to be sent away, but they forgot to come and get me. I was a functioning alcoholic till nobody noticed my new aesthetic.
I don't mind like the synthwave kind of beat because I'm a fan of synthwave music, but it really doesn't suit her. It kind of, in terms of the whole genre of when I think of Taylor Swift's music coming from a country background, it more so just seems like just generic pop, and it's like, this isn't the synthwave that I dig and respect, which is kind of focusing a lot more on the electronica side of things. And I don't think it should be applied to something like a pop hit. Like it's just like something that's in the background, and it's just always like air conditioning kind of music. I also don't really see what Post Malone does in this track. Like, he's just there and he's providing kind of these soft background vocals that, I don't know, he's not leading at all, and it doesn't feel like he's actually supporting too greatly. He's just there, and I think because of his name recognition. And then when you watch the music video and you see them like kind of looking at each other, trying to be so into it and like they're in love, I don't buy it at all. Like, I just see Post Malone, and I'm sure they could be friends and have their own moments, but does anyone really believe that they're like lovers? Like, this is not the kind of guy that I think she would even go for. Not that I know her personally, but it just seems like, based on her lyrics, her history, it's just not that kind of relationship. And I don't understand why Ethan Hawke is here, apart from just making a fun cameo. feel like this music video is sort of trying to relate to the lyrics in that she is sort of like being sent away to this psychotic institution. Like lines that saying that she was a functioning alcoholic, and that it almost implies that she was like an experiment, with Post Malone kind of doing these tests on her and then maybe falling in love and then pulling the plug and trying to save her. Like, was she an experiment in the relationship? Was the guy saved by her? It's kind of unclear to me, like maybe there's something there between the two. I don't understand the whole chorus where it's like, for a fortnight there we were forever, and run into you sometimes, ask about the weather. And then she goes into these lyrics of, your wife waters flowers, I want to kill her. And it's like, that's kind of meant to be trying to be like romantic, but it's almost like you're implying attempted murder, and you're saying that, you know, that's a good thing to want, and like the competition between females trying to get a male or a partner is like a great thing, because, you know, you're the one that really belongs with him, and to the point where you just want to kill her, and it's like, but why are you wanting to do that in the first place? And it says like, my husband is cheating, I want to kill him. I get it, you know, it's figurative speech, but it comes way too much more aggressive as opposed to being romantic. And it's just like such a like safe, placé kind of just song where she just like, almost her lyrics are like the background of that music. It's just in the background. There's like such a lack of emotion to it. It kind of feels stale, and it's just like, okay, yes, I love you. It's ruining my life. I can't be with you. That's why I'm not there. And why I want to kill your partner, when I want to kill my partner, we don't belong with our partners. We should belong together, etc., etc. And yeah, I don't know. It just seems like nothing in the end. And that's how I feel. So yeah, let's move on.
Typewriter at my apartment, straight from the tortured poets department. I think some things I never say, like who uses typewriters anyway. But
I really don't like that line, like who uses typewriters anyway.
But I've seen this episode and still love the show. Who else decodes you, and who's gonna hold you like me?
Part of this, you can kind of see like there's that complicated kind of relationship side to it, like someone is in that sabotage mode and you're kind of still in love with them and you want to try and save them, which I find kind of somewhat admirable, and it's kind of like a testament to how I will support you in a relationship no matter what. But there's also like this emphasis on like, I'm the only one maybe that can support you. No one else is going to support you like I do.
Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist.
And it's like, okay,
you fall asleep like a tattoo.
There's just so many weird, strange lyrics that are trying to be romantic on top of that just don't make sense or that fit in with that. Like a tattooed golden retriever. I get what she was trying to do with the whole Oh, you're like so lovable, like a golden retriever. It's like the number one most popular dog and so friendly. But you have all these tattoos on you because that's who you are, like as an artist. So let me just put that together as a simile. It'll work. And it just feels like the visual image of a tattooed golden retriever doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Chelsea Hotel, we're modern idiots, and who's gonna hold you like me?
Yeah, like again, I still see her like trying to come across as like, I'm gonna support you. That's the romantic gesture to it, which yes, there is that sentiment that's true, but it just doesn't come across 100%. I don't like the whole no fucking body line. Like, what's the point of that? It's trying to sounds kind of cool.
Everyone we know understands why it's meant to be, 'cause we're crazy. So tell me, who else is gonna know?
I don't understand this part here where it says,
My ring off my middle finger and put it on the one. People put wedding rings on, and that's the closest I've come
what?
to my heart exploding. Who's gonna hold?
Okay, so like, again, they're trying to be romantic, like the whole taking the ring off my middle finger and putting it on the one, like implying that you're gonna marry me and propose to me. But
And you're not
is that really that much of a romantic gesture? Like, when you wouldn't wanted someone to go down on one knee and do it on an occasion rather than just take some random ring that's on your finger already? And again, like, the music's not like synthwave music, it's more just like these kind of choir-like orchestral kind of soft bassline melodies in the background and just like lifting it up. It's almost like, it reminds me of like Hillsong kind of music, and there's just like no like soul to it. It feels like, where's that really catchy melody? Where's that catchy hook? It's again just like in the background, and like, I think she's trying to have that sort of, that her almost poetic kind of nature in the romantic lyrics of, you know, saying like, these are the torture poets that, you know, I dated. And I think this is a reference to someone that she dated in the past. I think specifically with the Joe Alwyn. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, okay, like there's a Dead Poet Society, but, you know, that could also be why Ethan Hawke is in there. Because he was in the film. But like, there's just all these weird lines that just like, they just feel so bland, and they're just not as like, as romantic as I think they're trying to be. And just the music, it's like, yeah, but I'm not really like falling in love with it. It's not calling something deep inside me, as much as I think it's trying to be. So to me, again, it just feels kind of forgettable. All right, let's go with My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. And go.
Oh, here we go again. The voices in his head called the rain to end our days of wild. The sickest arming doll purchased at the mall. Rivulets descend my plastic smile. But you should have seen him when he first got me. My
Yeah, so this is
only breaks his favorite
Again, another synthwave song, and trying to use the figurative language of like he's one of his toys. He's destroyed me. He just plays around with me like a toy, and then just throws me away, and that's it. Such a weird like contrast compared to the first two songs, where it's like this love letter to someone, and then thinking of their relationship with an ex, and then moving to like almost like disparaging someone completely, which I don't know, like is that kind of the vibe where it's like my songs are going to be about love, and on the contrast to that, they're also going to be about heartbreak, and it's always that dichotomy between the two, which kind of makes sense to an extent, that it's like two sides of the same coin. But what is like, it's hard, it's like I feel like they're going back and forth, and what's the point? And it's like every album is going to be about an ex. Every album is going to be about an ex. What are the lessons that you learn from a relationship? And that's the tough part that I can't resonate with. Like, I'd be interested in like an A and B side, where like the first half is maybe the heartbreaks, and then the B side you have the positive sides, and you actually talk about the love interest that you have right now, or someone in the future, all the positives from your relationships before, and just keep the theme a little bit more cohesive in that sense. Again, and just like this 3 tracks in, and just like this synthwave sort of general pop music, just it almost feels like she's taken a step back, and like I don't know if she's actually making the music as much as she used to be, compared to like her debut album. You know, you can feel like she was playing that guitar, and she was really had that emotion behind the lyrics, and it worked so well in the past. Whereas now I just feel like you become so bigger, there's like a bigger machine, you've got people producing these synthwave general pop kind of beats for you, and you're matching the lyrics that you write to that kind of music, or you're trying to put them, maybe you don't even know what the music's going to be. And that's it just feels like there's that disconnect between the two. Because it doesn't feel like a banger. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna like sing this out loud and really get into it. Yeah, like there's nothing else really to the lyrics. It's all pretty much fairly straightforward. At least this doesn't have many kind of weird analogies. Like, I actually like the line, she says, "I'm a queen of sandcastles he destroys." That's that's better. Like, you can see like queen, castle, there's that link. Sandcastles, like he destroys like a child, fits into the theme. You know, my boy only breaks his favorite toys. Like, it makes sense. It's better than tattooed golden retrievers. You know, like that line to me is just does not make any sense, and it's so dumb to me. So a little bit better in the lyrics department, a bit more simple, but just the music just doesn't feel at all. Like, even Fortnite has a bit more catchiness to it, but that's not saying that much. All right, let's move on. Okay, this is Down Bad, and let's go. This is such an interesting start to it compared to the other songs.
Did you really beat me up in a cloud of sparkling dust? Just to
Yeah, I actually prefer this a little bit more, surprisingly.
Showed me that this world is bigger than us.
I think the tempo is better as well.
For a moment I knew cosmic.
And I like that little, I don't know, that, like in the bit, that little intro part, it's like this little scratching of a record or something, like a higher note.
I might just die, would make no difference. Down bad, waking up in blood. Staring at the sky, come back and pick me up. Fuck it if I can't have us. I might just not get up, I might stay down bad. Fuck it if I can't have him. Down bad.
Again, such a weird dichotomy of like, this is a song like, I can't have this guy and I'm just down in the dumps.
Just to leave me.
It's like compared to the previous song that just, it was all about disparaging someone. Now this one's like, damn it, I really want this guy, he doesn't want me now.
The existence of you. For a moment I was heaven struck. Now I'm down bad, crying at the gym. Everything comes out, teenage petulance. Fuck it if I can't have him. I might just die when make no.
I do like notice that she's starting to like swear a lot more. I think there was this graphic of like the amount of curse words that Taylor Swift has used throughout her discography, and like it's just been increasingly exponential, and this is like the most out of all albums.
Down bad, leaving at the ship. Fuck if I can't have him. I loved your hostel.
I'm surprised that she's not doing any like threats here where like I want to kill your wife in the watering flowers like we had in the Fortnite song, even though she's like really clearly sounding desperate or like angry and frustrated that she can't have this guy.
It's romantic, leaving me safe and stranded. Cause fuck it, I was in love. So fuck you if I can't have us.
I really like those little, there's like these flourishes in the background. It's not the main beat. The main beat is like average, but it's the flourishes that's in the background, like the little sound effects. I don't know, the bubbles are kind of coming through, or the little sparkles and sprinkles. It's like, that is actually surprisingly good, and it's throwing me a little bit compared to what I've heard so far.
I might just not get up, I might stay down bad. Like I lost my twin. Fuck it if I can't have him. Down bad, leaving at the shed. Fuck it if I can't.
Kind of find that line, like I lost my twin, is kind of weird. Like, again, it's trying to be romantic. Like the connection that you have with a twin, and you're like, wow, that's like a special bond that only you and this person have. But it's also implying like it's not like an essential relationship, and that doesn't make sense. Like, you see this guy as like your brother, and that's what you're implying, and you love him so much. And it's like, oh, am I into incest now? Like, what's going on here? That's where I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't really get that. In terms of the lyrics, half of them just seem like repetitive in terms of just, it's always about effort, I can't have him, effort, I can't have him. You know, there's a couple lines about, you know, her being sort of just to do experiments on, like, which fits in the music video in Fortnite. You know, comes down to teenage petulance. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's nothing really kind of, I don't know, mind-blowing there. There's sort of like this theme of cosmic kind of thing, you know, cosmic love, sparkling dust, which could explain why there's those flourishes in the background, which I really, really enjoy. But just like everything, I don't know, like the whole lyrics in the verses, they seem kind of just all repetitive and bland. There's a weird line in the bridge, like, I loved your hostile takeovers. Which is like, I don't really understand. What's that got to do with it? Like, did he take over your relationship before? Or it's like for someone, you know, who I feel like is a strong, independent woman, is like the epitome of like strength in females and kind of has that theme. The whole idea of having a hostile takeover doesn't make sense. Even if it's like you took over my heart and like completely swept me and I wasn't expecting it. Just like the hostile takeover just feels like it's a weird way to compliment someone in an aggressive manner for someone that I think is such a strong and independent woman. Yeah, I don't like the line, I'll build you a fort on some planet. It's trying to be, you know, like relating to the cosmos and the universe kind of sprinkles that are in the lyrics, but it's like, a fort, like what? Yeah. Although to be fair, I think she's saying that's on behalf of him. How dare you say that it's, I'll build you a fort on some planet. I think that's from him, maybe. So I could be wrong there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I find the twin line is so funny, and it just comes out of nowhere. It's almost at the end, after doing everything else. It's like, okay, why would you even have this kind of implication that he was your twin? Well, let's go. Moving on. Better than the other songs so far. Okay, So Long London. Let's go. Once again, we get like this kind of choir, orchestral, kind of churchy. So long, so okay. And then again, we go to the synthwave music. So weird.
I saw in my mind fairy lights through the mist. I kept calm and carried the weight of the rift. Pulled him in tighter each time he was drifting away. My spine split from carrying us up the hill.
My spine split from carrying us up the hill.
I stopped trying to make him laugh. Stopped trying to drill.
Okay.
Thinking,
So like she was carrying the relationship all the time, and he wasn't doing anything.
Think I had in me. Oh, the tragedy. So
this is again about her boyfriend Joe Alwyn.
find someone. I didn't opt in to be your odd man out. I found at the club she's heard great things about. I left all I knew, you left me at the house by the heath. I stopped CPR after all, it's no use. The spirit was gone, we would never
Implying that she was doing CPR on him, not CPR on the relationship. Trying to keep it alive. Okay.
London, stitches undone, 2 graves, 1 gun. I'll find someone. And you say
Synthwave's got like this kind of reverb echo to it, or the delay.
holding tight to your quiet resentment, and my friend said it isn't right to be scared every day.
Yeah, like it's again, just in the background. It's like, well, she's trying to carry a lot with the melody of her vocals.
So how much inside did you think I had? Did you?
I don't know if it's like as catchy as what I think it's trying to be.
Tragedy. Just how low did you think I'd go for? I'd self-implode for. I'd have to go be free. You swore that you loved me, but where were the clues? I died on the altar waiting for the proof. You sacrificed us to the gods of your blue.
Died on the altar waiting for proof.
And I'm just getting color back into my face. I'm just mad as hell 'cause I loved this place for so long. London had a good run, a moment.
I don't even know if she did have a good run. It just seems like
But I
everything was bad.
so long, London stitches undone, two graves, one gone. You'll find
It's like the two graves, one gone. Is that like meant to be? We're gonna, commit like this love suicide together. Yeah, I don't know what to think about this song. It's just kind of like a music bland once again. Lyrics coming a little bit more quicker and faster. There's some strange mentions about, how she was carrying this relationship throughout the time. And like it seemed like it was just completely lifeless, so she had to stop giving CPR. But it all seems like that's such a general bird's eye point of view. Like, where are the details like that would kind of explain that? But I get it. Like, it's a song. Maybe you don't want to go into all the details, but like for me, when I think about something like what went wrong in a relationship, and you just give like these broad strokes, that's fine if you talk to someone in passing. But like, can there be like some more specific examples, just a time or a fight that you had, and then go into that, give a little bit more detail of why did you feel like you had to constantly give this relationship life and spirit? Why do you feel like it's dead? Why do you think there's two graves and both of you collapsed from this relationship? Why are you so mad? You say you're just as mad as hell. And clearly you love that your time together, but I don't see why that's the case. What was actually positive from it? And like, if you're really that mad, give me something like quote unquote juicy. Like, give me a detail, give me a fight that you can go into that explains it. And kind of gives us your point of view a little bit more. So overall, it feels like almost like a little bit of a tease, I guess, in that sense. But just, I don't know, continues that kind of bland trend, even though we had a decent track before. This is really like up there with the first two, Fortnite and the Tortured Poets Department. It just seems like, okay, it's there. That's it. Nothing really special to me. Moving on. Okay, but Daddy, I love him. And go.
I forget how the West was won. I forget if this was ever fun. I just learned these people.
What a weird line to start on. I forget how the West was won. What's that got to do with this?
The Sunday best, clutching their pearls, sighing what a mess. I I just learned these people try and say
At least this has like a bit of a guitar to it. I like the ukulele that's in the background.
higher horse,
Please don't give me synthwave, generic synthwave pop.
rise above it.
I won't disparage the whole synthwave genre.
They slammed the door on my whole world. The one thing I wanted. Running with my dress unbuttoned, screaming, but daddy, I love him. I'm having his baby. No, I'm not, but you should see your faces. I'm turning to floor through the fences.
I really don't like that whole surprise threat or like I'm having his baby and that implication and like, oh, you should see your face, haha, it's so funny.
My plans were laid, tendrils tucked into a woven braid. Growing up precocious sometimes means not growing up at all.
The verse is so much better than the chorus.
Eyes like a remedy.
Like, you got this interesting ukulele little riff, it's like, okay, I can get down with this, and then
Still
the build up and you're just like, oh, that's the payoff.
protested too much. Lord knows the words we never heard. Just screeching tires of true love. And I'm
Screeching tires and true love.
screaming, but daddy, I love him.
I'm just picturing Tokyo Drift drag racing.
No, I'm not, but you should see your faces.
Why is she running with a dress that's unbuttoned? Is that like she's scantily lewd?
I know he's crazy, but he's the one I want. I'll tell you something right now. I'd rather burn my whole life down than listen to one more second of all this bitching and moaning. I'll tell you
What?
something about my good name. It's
She'd rather burn her whole life down
I don't cater to all these
than just to listen to this for one more second. That's how I feel like about this album.
The most judgmental creeps who say they want what's best for me, sanctimoniously performing soliloquies I'll never see, thinking it can change the beat of my heart when he touches me and counteract the chemistry and undo the destiny. You ain't gotta pray for me. In my wild heart and on this wild joy. If all you want is great for me, then it's just white noise, it's just my choice.
So weird. Some of these lines.
Fakest smiles, scandal does funny things to pride, but brings lovers closer. We came back when they heat that down. Went to my parents and they came around.
Yeah, again, why does this verse sound just so much better? I think because it's so simplistic. It's just like that ukulele.
My dress in the sun and even my daddy just loved.
This song would probably work better as an acoustic version.
Oh my God, you should see your face this time. Doesn't it give some perspective? I know you can't come to the wedding. I know he's crazy, but he's the one I want. I'll tell you something right now. You ain't gotta pray for me.
It's so weird because like this is probably the most sort of I guess non-biographical song. This is what I think it is. Like, I don't know, like who she could be talking about in this track. Where she's talking about, you know, trying to be pregnant and then the whole implication that he's the one. Like if you were the parents of Taylor Swift and she comes to you saying like this, just based on her dating history, you'd be like, that's what you said about the last guy, and then the guy before that, and the guy. Yeah, like, just coming back to some of the lines, like, yeah, running with my dress unbuttoned, and going to your parents screaming that you, Daddy, I love him. Like, okay, huh? Okay, I forget how the West was born, and I forget if this was ever fun. Was that like, what's that got to do with the relationship? I don't understand the connection there. Screeching tires and true love, like, you're driving around crazy with this guy, like you're going around doing burnouts. I'll tell you something about my good name. It's mine alone to disgrace. Like, that's like a jab, like, you know, you might think that I date this guy and it's going to taint our name forever, whatever, but I'm going to do it because it's my name alone, and that's it. But, like, one, it's not your name alone, even though I get that romantic gesture, and two, it's like, why do you want to, like, I don't know, disgrace it? It just seems a bit, I would build up a bigger argument of why you don't think it's a disgrace to date this guy. Because so far you're just telling me, no, I'm going to do it anyways because I love this guy. But what is it about this guy in particular that just is so amazing? And go into specifics. Don't be general about it. Like, don't go into, you know, it makes my heart feel like this, etc. And this is what he does. You know, don't give me broad strokes. Give me a little bit more about it. Yeah, I can kind of see, like, she likes to do those rapid fire lines of sanctimoniously performing soliloquies I'll never see. It's like just throwing it all in there, trying to be kind of a little bit that poetic about it. But yeah, I don't know, like, it just, like, it's all, like, so forgettable, and I really dig the ukulele part, and then when the chorus comes, everything else just kind of falls apart, and it's like, is this the best that we have to do? That's what I feel. Moving on. Okay, fresh out of the slammer. 3, 2, 1, go. I really love the guitar effect of that delay. If you just feel it, it's kind of like that Nancy Sinatra song, Bang Bang. You know what I mean?
Fresh out the slammer, I know who my first call will be too. Fresh out the slammer, another summer taking cover.
I don't know if I like that. Fresh out the slammer. Oh. I know it's figurative, but I don't think it's like she's actually in jail. It's like, I just was in a relationship. It felt like I was in jail. That, to me, is more what it would be.
And tunnels handcuffed to the spell I was under. For just 1 hour of sunshine. Years of labor locks and ceilings in the shade of how he was feeling. But it's gonna be alright, I did my time. Now, pretty baby, I'm running back home to you.
This is like, I'm going back to an ex. Initially it was like, are you going to a new person? Or is home the sense of a better relationship?
wishes, get the matches.
There's too much gray area in there. It's like almost like implying that it's good to go back with your ex.
As I said in my letters, now that I know better, I will never lose my baby again. My friends tried but I wouldn't hear it. Watch me daily disappearing for just one glimpse of his smile. All those nights he kept me going, swirled you into all of my poems. Now we're at the starting line, I did my time. Now
It's just so weird, like this track isn't like...
to the house we still wait up and
Oh yeah, this is an interesting part. Different bridge.
to the one
It's like really slowed down. It almost like the track is like changed completely in the way it's been recorded.
It wouldn't matter anyway. Ain't no way I'm gonna screw up now that I know what's at stake here. At the park where we used to sit on children's swings, wearing imaginary rings.
I like that she couldn't fit in the syllables of
Be alright.
children's swings and rhyming it with wearing imaginary rings. Kind of just like had to... I don't know why she did it so quickly. It could have worked, but maybe she was like, oh, I need to get these syllables in to fit with the music beat. But that bridge was a surprisingly good different change compared to the whole song, which again just was like, yeah, like I started off with a nice guitar delay and then it just went into more like bland, generic kind of a little bit more like on the country rock, not as synthwavy, but it's just like it's just average throughout. There's nothing really like standing out until that bridge part. It's like, wow, this is like really like it slows things down. It feels like a record's coming down. It's like, oh, this is very cool now. This is like something different, and I appreciate that in a good way. In terms of the lyrics, it's weird, like fresh out of the summer. I think that's trying to be like the chorus hook, but it's not really there. Yeah, I think it's talking about basically just being in a bad relationship, being in the jail, and then finally having a new sense of life. And then kind of loses it where it's like, I'm going to go back to my ex in the past. Why is that a good thing? Yeah, nothing else to it. The bridge. I kind of like the imagery that it evokes of, going back to thinking how they were as children and having that little, childhood kind of love. And maybe that's what they're talking about, like, or she's reflecting on of like a memory of like how close we were as kids, and it's just all gone crazy and messed up as an adult. So at least it has some sort of positivity to that. And I like the details of like, children's swings. Like it's a simple thing, but you're putting the image of where you guys were. And I don't know, I think if you have more details versus broad strokes, I think I resonate a little bit more with that. It just feels less of this is like a love song and I'm just going to talk about, general feelings. Like, no, get into this, get to the details. The details are what's matter.
Shake it off?